updates. Good morning, Tobago.
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago. It is now 8:37 a.m. and viewers, you're looking out at the Scarborough Harbor right now and some of a bit of our fishing industry, and that's because we're talking a little bit about fishing this morning. We are going to announce a new association, a new focus on fishing in Tobago, and there's the recently formed Tobago United Fisherfolk Association that is joining us on set and introducing themselves to the people of Tobago. So, good morning and welcome to you all.
Hi, good morning.
All right, now I'm going to start first with Mr. Dexter Taylor. You can introduce yourself. What is your position on this new Tobago United Fisherfolk Association, and then we could go around.
Okay. Well, my name is Dexter Taylor. I am the president of the All Tobago. I'm president of the Tobago United Fisherfolk Association, and I'm here to present myself to the service of all fisherfolk and to do good in that end.
All right, next, Ms. Thomas.
Hi, well, my name is Alison Thomas. I'm the secretary of the Tobago Unified Fisherfolk Association, also the secretary of CIFA, which is Castara Fisherfolk Association Reform. Now, as my job as the secretary, is documentation of all incoming, outgoing letters and emails, and building a good relationship in the fishing community and the industry. Also the governing body, which is Fisheries Division. Beside that, I have extended to give some of my services to assist some of the fishing association with all the documentations, getting it up and running so that they don't stay in defunct state. So my services is there, and we'll go in further when we have that time.
Certainly. And next to you?
Well, morning. My name is Ian Thomas. I'm the treasurer of the Tobago United Fishers Association. More or less, my portfolio is just to keep proper documentation on all the incoming and outgoing funds that has been coming in. I'm also the president of the Lambo Fishing Association as well.
And another well-known face, Mr. Roach.
Hello, good morning. My name is Errol Roach. I am the president of the Castara Fisherfolk Association Reform. Also, I am the PRO of Tobago Unified Fisherfolk Association. And basically, we are here to keep the fisherfolk informed and trained to make sure that they are safe when they are going to sea to ply their trade.
All right, and then finally, Mr. McCool.
Hi, good morning. My name is Kerry McCool. I am the trustee, one of the trustees of the Tobago Unified Fishing Association. And well, I'm here to, keep eye on things, make sure that things are running smoothly with regards to whatever is coming and going out as well. I'm also a representative of Scarborough, one of the fishermen from Scarborough, and I'm here to assist in any way that possible to help the fisher folk go forward within this endeavor.
All right, so as I said before, this association was recently formed in 2022. Right. So, Mr. Taylor, could you just give me an idea of what led to the formation of the Tobago Unified Fisherfolk Association?
Well, we had met with a number of fisherfolk, and they had asked us to form an association that could represent the fisherfolks adequately for the reason that they had reasons and a lot of concerns that was not being aired and properly represented. So we came together and we decided, well, we are going to try to form this organization that we could properly and adequately represent the people, the fisher folks of Tobago.
No, and I guess I'm going to just throw it out to any one of you all. What are some of the things that you think that have not been focused on before? And what are things that you want to highlight from the fishing industry? What are the things that are affecting fishermen that needs attention at this point in time?
Well, some of the things that actually affect fishermen is more or less the day-to-day fishing habits. Things that are needed for their boats, their services are not that well organized, and we want to move the fishing industry from the level it is to another level. We want to keep that form of honesty and transparency within all the associations around the island, so that fishermen could ply their trade in a much more comfortable manner, and it would actually reflect on the communities that these fisher folks are from.
Great. Now, Mr. Roach, like I said, you are no stranger to this, to the fishing industry. And somebody you've been part of it for pretty much your whole life,
Yes.
right? What do you think has not? What do you think has been lacking in terms of what fishermen need to go ahead and be able to capture the most fish, produce the most fish, make sure that the industry remains alive and well on the islands?
Well, I think we need a cooperation within the different association, cooperation between the oil companies, cooperation between the Department of Fisheries, cooperation even between the fisher folk. Now, we have seen where fishing has changed, and we are doing more fat fishing along the coast. And we have been having a bit of an interruption with vessels, sometimes cutting away our fads and all of these things. So we need to have FAD centralized in particular areas where they can be marked and highlighted, so the ships and the oil rigs, or whatever the case may be, know that these FADs are in a particular point or a particular spot, so we don't constantly have any cutting away of FADs and all of these things. We also need to have proper training for the fisher folk, make sure that they are equipped with whether they're having a GPS, marine radios, and all of these equipments, even life vests. Some of these things are very important. We need to have a better, should I say, working relation with the Department of Fisheries, so that we can get our documents, our things up to date, and get everyone on board at a particular level. I think that we need to look at fishing as one of the mainstay of Tobago economy. Every household in Tobago have a fisher folk involved in the household. And when you treat with the fisher folk, you treat with every household, and everyone can identify with fishing in Tobago. So we need to have the fisher folk trained, have them informed, have them working together in a unity, have each fisher folk association in a community or village active, so that they can have proper data, proper information pertaining to what is happening in the fishing area or the area that they fish. I know that we have a lot of problems that we need to treat with, and we in this association is saying to the fisher folks, come to us. We are willing to meet with all association or anyone who want to form an association, so that they can get themselves properly trained, get themselves properly organized, so that they can put out their best in their field. You know, in Tobago, we have challenges whereby even to get our parts for our engine, getting our engine service, getting, so many different things we have problem with in Tobago. And we are saying in this organization, we are here. We are formed because you asked us to form, so that you can have an identity, have a face, have someone that you can speak to represent you to the relevant authority when you have a problem. Now, for the guys who have big boats, as myself, we have problem pulling up our boats. We need to have, let's say, a dock, or maybe a mooring area where we can get our boat out of the water and get it properly serviced and back into the water, But there's so much problem that we have in the industry, and I know if we work with the Department of Fisheries and work with the other fisher folks in the different community and village, we can solve this problem. But one of our main problems is training. And we need to get our fisher folks trained, get them on board, so that we can accomplish the goal that we set out to.
All right, and Ms. Thomas, now, how big is the association? Like, how many members do you currently have? And what is the difference you guys are presenting in terms of the organization of the fishermen?
Okay, well, this is the executive body, and we consist of 10 executive members. Now, in form of structuring, we are here, we are open. Anyone can call us. Our email is there. Anyone can reach out to us. Time to time, we do move around on the island, reach with each village, see how far back they are, what documents are there that they need to come together. Because without togetherness, it can't happen. As Mr. Roach had said, we need to work as a team, and we are there to build a team. We are there to help them like a parent body so that they can umbrella under us and we could move forward stronger.
Right. And Mr. Thomas, now, is there any plans to sort of, make this fishing association a bit sustainable? Because, over the years, we've heard fishermen call for assistance from the government. However, sometimes the government's like, the fisherfolk can band together and assist themselves in some small way or the other. What plans do you have?
Well, the plans that the Tobago United Fisher Association is like what happened with us at Lambo. When I wanted to be a part of the United Fisher Association came to us, Lambo was in a defunct state, as in the sense as in, okay, with this, people were just there on the beach selling fish, fishing, but they should also get organized, get a certificate from Registry General, how to keep proper meetings, how to keep executive meetings, have to put a constitution in place. And sometimes all these are the stepping stone to have us now moving forward with fisheries, because fisheries won't honor, just a one person talking. They honor more a body that keeps proper documentation, proper records, and all that to help us now sustain ourselves, because the more documentation and we keep more records on the active fishermen in your area, proper data record, on the fishes that come in, the species of fish, all these now with that data will afford to help all the fishermen in Tobago now move to the stage that we want to get at.
Okay. And Mr. McCool, I know that you are the second generation fishing in your family, right?
Yes.
Now, how much has fishing changed since, your father knew it?
I don't really know how to really answer that adequately. During time, there are a lot of things that we come to get exposed to, and we had to adapt a lot, because within the timings when the older generation would have been fishing, most times you would hear the fishermen going right there off the land not too far and catching loads of fish. Whereas now we are at a position where fishermen are going much further. So this is a time in where a lot of the fishermen now have GPS, whereas long time it was landmarks is what you had to take. Now the distance you're going, you can't take landmarks anymore. So there's a lot of new equipment, new technologies that we have to become accustomed to, learn to use, utilize, and right now safety is even a more concern now than before. So like as Mr. Roach mentioned, we want to also encourage the fisherfolk to get educated safety-wise and put it into practice, because it's not a nice thing when you hear a fisherman go out and goes missing for whatever reason. Right? So we want to get everybody accustomed to utilizing GPS and these things, learning how to read it and take the information from the GPS, have radios and all these things. So honestly, it really has evolved a lot, even in terms of the fishing techniques that we have to use to catch the fish. Some of us, we are adapting outside techniques, so it has changed.
And then as you're talking about that change, one of the things that the division has been focused for the past decade, I would say, is in terms of improving the way that we sell or we process the fish. So there was an investment in fishing facilities. However, we've seen over the years that you would build a facility, fishermen would still continue to sell on the side of the road and so on, in sometimes unsanitary conditions. And then there was a problem that's been highlighted as the THA goes through each community where fishermen are complaining about the access to the facilities. What is your position on how these facilities should be built and used within the fishing community?
Well, all these facilities, before being built, I think they should have that kind of a discussion with the fisher folk and stakeholders in every village, every fishing village, because a fishing depot in any village represent the village. It represents how the village actually operates. And if it is being built in that way, that reflects the village, then you would have the participation of the villagers. I mean, we know that things change where you stop resting the fish on the sand. When you come from the sea and you stop resting just on a piece of wood, you know, you got to take it in ice, in a cooler, into a next cooler with ice, and you have it in a sanitary condition that is going to be very palatable to the
Public.
Yeah, to the public to consume, you know. And I really think that we should really focus on doing those things in unison with the villagers, so that it could really bring that togetherness whenever the participation time.
How do you think that the facilities themselves should be managed?
Well, once the fishing association in all these villages are operating in the manner that the fisheries division actually wants them to operate, where they keep regular meetings, keep proper data, and give that kind of information passing through all the different fishing agencies, that they will actually understand the business that they are doing. Then it's going to show clearly where they could manage these buildings. But for now, I think that some of the fishing associations are not in that capacity to manage their fishing business and still manage a building. So until that is actually transparent enough that we see ourselves ready to take charge of a building and run that building, pay staff and clean and maintain it, I think it's best that we have the THA take that load, because staff to pay, electricity bills, maintenance equipment and such is a hefty one that fishermen would not be able to handle at this time.
And then what in terms of the differences of opinions that exist between fishermen? Because, you know, we have to treat that little elephant in the room. I mean, you guys, there are more associations out there. How do you intend to treat with the differences of opinion, but still try to come together in a way that, you know, you could push the fishing industry forward? And I guess any one of you all can take that question.
Well, I think that you can't please everybody, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion. And as they say, the majority rules. And it have others will be on the side, would just look on and maybe focus and say, let me see what road they're going down. And eventually they will weigh on the side that they see progress. So it's all to build a sustainable growth where we can have the fishermen not depend on every minute, the government, you know, the fisheries. We can show them a road that we can walk, that we can sustain ourselves. And eventually, as Mr. Taylor said, one day the fisheries or the teacher will be able to hand over and say, okay, they are ready to manage their own facilities and stuff like that. So it's just, it's how to put it, it's our legacy and our way of behavior that some of us will have that kind of difference of opinion. But it's just to show them in a light that, hey, what happened? We can do it. This is a way, time have changed. Things are evolving. Let us evolve with it as well. It's the betterment for us and our generation to come. Remember the youths looking on at us.
And Mr. Roach, I think you wanted to get in there as well.
Yeah. The thing is, we are willing to work with any fisher folk in Tobago. Any fisher folk in Tobago for the benefit of the fishermen or fisher folks in Tobago. The reason why I'm saying this, it is not a personal thing. And many of us sometimes we go up on the personal thing and behave like that the body that they belongs to is operating onto themselves. That is not the function of an association. The association is designed or was designed to represent the interests of the fisher folk, to see the interests of the fisher folks, you know. And if you move away from that aspect of meeting with the fisher folk and having that dialogue with them, you do not understand, or you tend to misunderstand what the fisher folk need to ply their trade or for the betterment of themselves. You know, we have to concentrate on treating with the issues. And the issues that the fishermen face on a day-to-day basis is to make sure that they themselves are equipped, trained, get the relevant information, especially where nowadays we are going further in sea to catch fish. As I have spoken to the chief sec and also the director for fisheries, we are limited to engine size up to 150 horsepower. And when we go out to sea, we meet other boats from Venezuela, Barbados, and other places. They carry more horsepower into the boats. And sometimes we have to make, should I say, an emergency exit from a spot because of the situation might become hostile. 150 horsepower is not adequate for us. So they need to change that, and we want to encourage and push for the dialogue with us and fisheries and the relevant authority so that we could be allowed to have bigger engines on our boats. I mean, some people are going ahead on their own and they're buying the bigger engine without the proper, thing with fisheries. But you see, we have to move away from should I say, the dinosaur age where we are restricted. Yes. When you look at the other countries like America and other places, the boats are carrying 200, 300, how much, And we have to understand that fishing in the Caribbean is not as it used to be. It's a very competitive sport or livelihood. And I want not just us, but the fishing industry and the THA to consider sitting with us and let us put a structure in place so that it will benefit the fisher folks in Tobago, because we need to have a dialogue. We need to have a sit down with THA. We need to have a sit down with the fisheries department and let us work out the pros and the cons so that we can fix this, because we could fix it. And it must be in the interest of the fisher folk. And in Tobago, I'm pleading, we need a proper landing site. We do not have a proper we don't even have one proper landing site in Tobago. And how could we produce the level of fish quality that we are looking for if we still have to take our fish out of the boat, from out of the ice, and then put it back into the seawater on the shore, bring it back onto the land, put it back into fish? We have to have a proper jetty, a proper landing site, so we can land our fish properly, so we can export our fish to the international market. And that's one of our biggest challenge here in Tobago.
Okay, great. Now, we're getting ready to wrap this morning's interview. But Mr. Taylor, I want to give you the last word as the president of the Tobago Unified Fisherfolk Association. Now, what is one message that you want to leave with Tobago and especially the fisherfolk?
Okay. Well, let me just say this. We are here today on a mandate given to us by the fisherfolks and stakeholders of Tobago to actually adequately represent them in an honest and non-biased way. As we sit here this morning, I can tell you we are working in unison with the fisheries department. We are also working with TATCO and all the other fishing agencies for the upliftment of all fisherfolk. And we have we have complied with fisheries because fisheries had asked for a measure of documentation from all associations, and we have met all the measurement of giving all the documents. They see where we started, how we started, our minutes, our full works. In other words, the way that an association should actually be transparent to show good governance of that association. We did all that. And we have some aims and objectives that we are going to just share with you this morning. Some of the aims are to create, that sustainable industry for the fisherfolk and stakeholders, and so that it can benefit the communities, not just the fishermen, the communities, because in building any area, once it's sustainable and it reflects and trickle down to the communities, then you have something good. All right. I'm going to say again, we are also trying to enforce in the minds of the fishermen that let us try to do a very honest business. Let us try to apply that trade honestly, not get involved in any dishonest practices, because it doesn't look good. It doesn't augur well down the road, and for the younger fisher folk and younger fisherwomen and fishermen coming, we need to set that good example.
Yes, certainly.
All right. One final thing is that in the event of any problem, we need to that they will have. They can feel free to contact us at 304-1979 or 310-7089, and our email sites are tougherfisherfolk@association@gmail.com. They can email us there. Our office is at Cascule Building, Unit Number 1, Castara, Northside Marine, Castara Bay, Tobago.
All right, great. Well, and thank you for being here and for introducing yourself. And we certainly at Tobago Updates are looking forward to hearing your views on different aspects of the fishing industry as the time goes on.
Yes.
All right?
Thank you very much.
Great. Well, viewers, thank you again for joining us. And it was such a pleasure. And have a safe and wonderful and productive day. And we'll see you again tomorrow. This was the Tobago Updates. Good morning, Tobago show. And yes, have a good one.
Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago. Wake up with Candace and Denicia.
Let's go, go. It's a brand new morning. Rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong.